Good afternoon, class. Our goal today is to explore the principles of design, and we're going to be looking at Stephen Kellogg's illustrations.
Really? I'm excited! I want to learn all about the principles of design, and I love this book.
That's great. Now, in order for us to get started, we're going to take a look at this book called The ABCs of Art. The Elements and Principles of Design. So as I open this book, I start with the elements of art. These are building blocks to creating pictures, like line, shape, color. You got the warm colors, the cool colors, color harmonies, texture, space, how you fill up the space in your paper. Just a tip on drawing, try and fill the whole page. We got value, light, medium, and dark values. And this is what we're going to focus on. The principles of art, also known as the principles of design. So we're going to look at pattern, emphasis, variety, unity, balance, rhythm and movement, proportion. So starting with pattern is the repetition of the elements of art or anything else. There can be a pattern of lines, patterns of shapes, patterns of colors. You can even see patterns in everyday life. Many of our habits are patterns. You might notice patterns in music, in nature. We're also going to look at emphasis. This is the focus, the main idea, what grabs your attention in a picture. It can be to make a point or for a message, like your theme. It can simply be used as a design element. Here we have some examples, like a house that stands out from the rest. We have this big stop and big lettering. Now let's take a look at the first page. Do you notice emphasis or pattern? Do I see any patterns? What about the emphasis? Next, let's move on to variety. Variety is a number of different types of things. There is no end to the variety in nature and man-made things. A variety of people, insects, pens, flowers, a variety of emotions in buildings. People can have a variety of ideas about the same thing. Looking at this work of art, one person might think, that's the most beautiful work I've ever seen, while another would think, my baby could do that. So variety is a number of different types of things. Do you notice any variety in this illustration? Look at this. Wow, Stephen Kellogg did a fantastic job on this illustration. I see many principles of design. So far, we've learned about emphasis, pattern, and variety. What do you think Stephen Kellogg was trying to emphasize in this illustration? What's the main idea that grabs your attention here? Do you notice any patterns? You might have to look closer to see if you can find any. Now, I do want to point out one thing. Another great way of getting the attention of your audience is adding detail. Using a variety of elements and principles of design adds detail and interest to a work of art. How much of a difference do the details make for this picture? What do you notice? Now, the next principle of design we're going to look at is unity. Unity is the thing that joins the parts together. Uniforms show we are joined as a team. In art, the elements work together, fit together in the artwork so it looks complete. Some art looks more unified than others. Now let's see if we can identify any unity in this illustration. Maybe even emphasis, pattern, variety. I notice balance. Now there's a few types of balance. There could be symmetrical balance, like a butterfly, same on both sides. Asymmetrical balance, when you balance by size and weight and variety of images, but not even, like a butterfly from the midline. So this picture here is balanced because there's the same amount of images on both sides, but they're not exactly symmetrical. Let's move on to rhythm and movement. A regular repetition of the elements of art can create a sense of movement or rhythm. Active lines create a sense of movement. Trees blowing in the wind. Rhythm is all around us. Do you see any movement here? Maybe in the smoke, there's a little bit of movement. Now, I know I've seen some images in this book that really capture rhythm and movement. There's a little bit of movement. Wow. A lot of movement here with this tornado. There's a flurry of items that are blowing in the air. And this also brings me to the next principle of design. Proportion. Proportion is the size relationship between two or more objects. It can be how the parts fit together to make a whole. Proportions of the head. Exaggeration. A change in proportion can change the way we look at things. Accurate proportions are used more when creating realistic images. Distorted proportions are used more for cartoons and imaginary images. I approximate and think about volume when I work with proportions. It's math. I mentally measure size, shape, mass, weight, and volume. So what do you notice about the proportions in this picture? So, those are the ABCs of art. We got line, shape, and color are elements of art. Texture, space, and value, that's where I start. When I use what I know as an artist, I will grow. Line, shape, color, texture, space, and value, the ABCs of art. Now you can use color harmonies when you color your pictures, add texture. Don't forget about space. We've learned a lot about space this year. And look at the space that's created in this picture. Wow, I can see the street down here. Really filled the whole paper, extended lines off the paper. Draw big, fill that whole page. We got value, the range of light to dark, light, medium, and dark values. We learned about shading. Now we are back to those principles of design. What did we learn about? Pattern, emphasis, variety, unity, balance, rhythm and movement, proportion. So what have you learned? What can you discover about these pictures? What do I see? What art vocabulary can I use to describe the design of these pictures? When you develop a language of art, then you can understand what you're looking at in a new way. You can discover these different principles of design and figure out what makes something interesting to you. What principles of design draw your attention? So thank you, Stephen Kellogg, for a fantastic example of the principles of design. Enjoy in your creation and create with those principles of design in mind.